to nothing. Gary Apple back inside our Midtown studios. This is Daily News Live presented by Citi. John Wertheim from Sports Illustrated is here. TJ Quinn, Om Youngmisuk of the Daily News standing by in Memphis, Tennessee. Chris, Moneymaker, who won the World Series of Poker in 2003. And Chris, right out of the gate here, and I'm sure you get asked about this about every 12 seconds, but that is your real name, Moneymaker, is it not?
It is my real last name. Yeah, it's probably the most common question I get asked.
All right, so in 2003, you spent $39 to get into playing some online poker, and you turned it into $2.5 million by winning the World Series of Poker. I guess the big question is, how did you do it?
Well, basically, I was an accountant back then, and I played poker as a hobby. And I got onto Poker Stars. I had $60 in my account, and I played 18 people. Spent $39, and I had to beat all 18 of those. And I did that, and then the next week came back, and I had to beat 69 more people to get a seat into the main event. And we got down five-handed, and I actually wanted to take fourth place and take $8,000 in cash and not take the World Series seat. I actually tried to work a deal to where I got the cash and not the seat. It didn't work out, so I had to take the seat, and now I'm sitting here in front of you after the World Series.
How do you explain the popularity of poker and the way it's just burst onto the American scene and really around the world? What is it about poker that has become so really important to so many people and such a boom in this country?
Well, you know, poker's an easy game to learn. You can sit down after 5 minutes and figure it out. You can watch it on TV and figure out how to play. And then you can go play with your friends, and you can come to a casino and play with a professional. And you can't do that with other things. You know, you can't go play golf with Michael Jordan, but you can come and play poker with a world champion and sit down and hold your own. Over time, you're going to lose, theoretically. The better players are always going to win in the end. But you can get lucky and win in the short term. You can't get lucky and beat Michael Jordan. So it's definitely an attraction for that reason. And it's the purest form of reality TV. I mean, you know, there's a whole lot of reality TV going on, and it's really the truest form.
I was going to ask, what makes a good poker player?
A good poker player has to have good memory, good instincts, the ability to gamble, be willing to go broke with nothing. You have to be willing to put everything on the line. And that's what really separates the great players from the good players, is that ability to go broke and not really worry about it, and then being able to read somebody, just staring someone down and figuring out what they have in a hand. And those two things, plus the ability to be patient too. You have to wait for your time.
Hey Chris, this is Om Youngmisuk from the New York Daily News. I just want to know, how often were you playing before you kind of made your big money? I mean, were you just a recreational player to just play with your buds, like, you know, every Thursday night? And can you teach me how to make all that kind of money?
I can definitely teach you. I teach quite a few people, and they do quite well. But back then, I was playing with just my friends. You know, we would play on Saturday night in the basement, and then every once in a while, probably 3 days a week, I'd get on Poker Stars and play. And I'd probably log in at very first 20 hours a week. As I got closer to the World Series, I was putting in 40 hours a week. It was basically a second job for me. By the time I got to the World Series, I was actually making a secondary income off of it, which was really nice.
John Wertheim, Sports Illustrated here. Go ahead, John.
Does the Knicks general manager job hold any appeal to you? No, I'm kidding. What do you say? I mean, I think you're right that there's a lot to recommend about poker. But the one thing we still hear periodically is the word fad, that this is professional wrestling or American Gladiators, that we're going to remember the days when poker was actually on TV. What's your response to that? How do you counter that?
Well, I used to watch wrestling as a kid, and I still think it's pretty highly rated. Matter of fact, one of my partners is WWE, and they have very high ratings. And you know, poker is something that millions upon millions upon millions of people in the U.S. play, so I don't see it being a fad. You know, they put so much poker on TV recently that they're actually going to have to scale that back, and I think you're seeing that now, and I think you're seeing a leveling off process. But poker itself is going to be around a long time. The World Series of Poker, the main event's always going to be on TV, and it's always going to draw a big crowd, and I mean, that tournament itself turns regular people into multi-millionaires and just changes lives.
Chris, final 15, 20 seconds here. Give the website, because as you say, anybody can get involved in this.
Yeah, you know, if you want to be like me and win a World Series seat, you can go to worldseriesofpoker.com and you register. You don't have to win like I did. You just go on and register, and you enter a drawing, and you might win a World Series seat worth $10,000, and you could be the next world champion of poker and walk away with what looks like to be anywhere between $10 to $15 million this year.
And did you buy a big house when you won all the money?
I did. I've actually bought 3 big houses. My last one I'm buying.
Rub it in there, Chris. We appreciate that. Chris Moneymaker joining us from Memphis. Good to see you, Chris. Thank you very much. More to get to here on Daily News Live when we